Introspection is one of my favorite words. And as you see, I introspect, look in the dog's bowl. Let me tell you about a moment that I'll always remember and appreciate. Shout out to, again, and I'm not saying this because we get the food from the Foundation Raw. One of my favorite moments, and I've replayed it a few times, and I might even post it in this clip, but when we went to go visit our guy, Richard DeBerry, and he was opening the car door before we could stop, you go, that's what this is about, man. I thought whiskey brought people together. I know dogs can bring people together. I know the power of food. I know the power of nutrition. I know the power of life when you embrace the journey. Guys, I'm not here to motivate people or to inspire. I'm here to share a little bit of the little life that I have and potentially challenge a few people to do a little bit more, be a little bit better, maybe better than I'll ever be. But I encourage you, for those that are trying to figure it out, be motivating and inspiring and stick to whatever the dream may be. Make sure your dream's big. Make sure you're dreaming with the right people. Make sure that you stay moving, because the rules are simple. How else do you expect to improve? But thank you to our guy Richard and so many others who've done like this more than they've done like this. Guys, take care of your dogs. Guys, we're back, and I said we're going to do more lifestyle stuff. And again, big thank you. As you know who I am by now, T-Fit here. We are on Fit Bully TV. Some of those things are going to change. Chris Moore, if you go watch our recent live, we just did it tonight. I don't know when you guys are going to see this, but he talked about one of the hardest things in the dog space being what he called his peers. A peer in this case is a fellow breeder. Somebody that does what you do or attempts to, presumes to be your friend, and then, as you know, turns their back on you. Now, he knows I don't really know what that's like because I don't have a lot of what we consider, I won't say peers. I'm just not a friendly person. I have no reason to be. And that's because we wrote a business plan up. But let me encourage those people who are starting off. If you want to be successful at business, breeding, whatever it is, find out what the business is. If you follow this page, then you know that I've studied business and I'm obsessed with business. And one of the things Jeff Bezos focused on was not his competitors, but where there were gaps in the business. So where do you think I saw a huge gap? Particularly one rooted in education. Particularly one where I saw myself. Here's the thing. From a branding and marketing standpoint, you know, they got the black dolls now. Hey, we got the black dolls, the Asian doll, the Hispanic dolls. We got all the dolls now. You want to look and see a little bit of yourself when you are trying to find success. And sometimes you never find yourself. So you got to be something you've never seen. And that's kind of where we're at. Chris, Richard, a few of them at times have alluded to having challenges with the people who are, we'll just call it what it is, talking shit. I said, look, don't pay them no mind, man. They're not a part of the business plan. And you know what they always say? Trev, you right. You know what is a part of your business plan, or what should be one of your number one concerns for those that are starting out? Is identifying who your target market is, focusing on your customer, taking care of the dogs that you're responsible for now, and staying out of the fucking way. And what happens is when a bunch of people get together, they got the same ideas or different ideas, then they start arguing. Now we ain't getting nothing done because we caught up on the idea versus the work. Chris said it on a live too. He says, man, people don't know that you put 36 hours of work into a 24-hour day. He does the same. He's a workaholic. And for me, I'm bringing that up because I was with my buddy Parker this morning working out. And he talked about losing a friend. And in losing his friend, he goes, you two are just alike. He said, now he could make anybody his friend. He said, but I just never knew what he was doing. He goes, but he was always working. He's like, I got this car. He said, oh, how does that tie together? Oh, whatever. He said, y'all always are working on something, and in y'all's mind, it's gonna come back and work itself out. But I never could see it. But the dude was a good dude, and you know, I still check on his kids today. When you associate yourself with wealth, your life does like this. When you associate yourself with poverty, mentality alone, your life does like this. Hence, crabs in the bucket. You cannot succeed or find success around people who think the way that you do. Actually, you need diversity in your thoughts, and you will come to a conclusion when there's more diversity about the things that actually need to change. Now, there needs to be a common alignment. Are we honest? Can we do the work? Are we willing to learn? Can we put our pride and our ego aside? Can we grow? Can we deal with construction under criticism of those who care about us that say nothing with malice so that we can improve? That's the whole point of this thing, man. Every now and then I get inspired to do things like this, impromptu preaches, if you would. I'm preaching now because I hate noise. They say it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. I'm not causing no harm to nobody. And I'm not asking permission to be great. And 9 out of 10 people, they have no idea what greatness really looks like. I assure you that. If not 10 out of 10. There's a reason there is a 1% of us who are willing to figure it out, to stay focused, to stay moving, to be encouraged, to be inspiring, to deal with the hate, the rhetoric, to embrace the love. Because we have a journey that we believe is going to take everything we got, man, and a little bit more. We are here for the long run. There's no running me off. There's nowhere to go. I've built my own road. And others are welcome. You can walk down the very path. I'm happy to help. But I'm not here for the noise. And I have to do this every now and then because I get those young folks saying, man, I want to breed. I've been wanting to do since I was a kid. Boom, boom. Now, the minute someone says something about your dog, you get in your feelings. There have been people who talk so much shit about ego. And I don't mean because I read the comments. There be niggas in my DM like, man, he got a roach back. He East West. I'm like, that's true. And I move on. That's all they wanted to say. Now, in their mind, they think, it's this nigga in the jugular. Doesn't bother me none. You're stating a fact. He was East West. His back was a little rounded. He's my dog. That's like if your kid's ugly, there's nothing you can do about that. I think Mike Epps said it. He said, I got a daughter, and then she mad because I ain't gonna lie, I was hitting girls look like Richard, what's he say, Richard Pryor or something crazy the nigga was talking about. But I was like, you look a little, what's that nigga name? I can't think of it, but he said, and you look, a couple of them bitches look like Freddy Krueger when I was back in the day. But I done came up a little back, got a little money now. I'm gonna treat myself a little bit better. And that's what happens when your mentality changes. I believe that we're worth everything that we're putting in, and we've got a ton more work to do. So if you're here and you're on Fitbilly TV and you're trying to find the words and be encouraged and you want to keep going, I assure you, nobody can stop you but God. Guys, stay moving, stay motivated, be encouraged, listen to the podcast, listen to these moments of clarity. Take heed to not the warning, but the opportunity life provides for you to be better. Don't get caught up on the noise, because I assure you life gets louder and louder. And as always, take care of your dogs, people. So one of the famous sayings is only the strong survive in this life. I don't know if that's true, but I tend to be relatively strong, and not because of the way that I look, but because of the choices I make, and those choices tend to better the people around me, because if I don't choose wisely, how will they choose? One of the things that you learn the hard way, unfortunately, is that nobody cares. You don't care about your excuses. 9 out of 10 people don't care about your success. What they do tend to care about is wanting to be a part of. They want to feel a part of it. That's the hard part, is including people who have weekend strong minds as we try our best to attempt to grow. One of my challenges to Marcus behind the camera is creating some metrics for his life. Hey, what's your metric for living? It's a hard question. The majority of the people, and he'll tell his story at another time, that he's been around have always been weak-minded. Controversial, they've been hard to deal with and struggled to communicate, spoke from frustration. How do you get ahead when everybody around you is hostile? I don't want to be the last man standing. I want to be the man standing with the people who are some of the best people I know. So So we got to continue to make good choices. We got to stay strong. I don't know if the strong survive or if the strong thrive. What I do know is I had to stay moving. Chris Moore said it best, and that's the point of this. He said, Trev, people don't know that you work 36 hours. You put 36 hours of work into 24. Look here, still at it. I don't know what your dreams are, what your goals are. What I will tell you to do is the same thing I've said do now for years. Stay moving. The rules are simple. How do you expect to improve? Make sure you align yourself with some strong people even stronger than you, because you're going to need a hand or a shoulder to lean up on sometime. Been a few times some people had to give me a hand to get my big ass up. And it's going to be a few more times that I might have to lean on them to both stay encouraged, to be encouraged, and to stay moving, which means I got to make sure they're better than me. Because if something is to happen to me, they got to stand stronger than I stood. Now that's a challenge. Be encouraged, people, whatever you're doing, and stay moving. It's that simple.